Hey everyone, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How are you doing?
Me? I'm doing okay. I'm hot. I came back from the sauna, so I might be very red-faced still.
What do you think, Mangalarti?
I'm sorry, I just got sound up. What was the question?
Kale is asking if he's red face or not.
You're fine. What, you got a lot of sun today or something?
No, I just got back from the sauna,
Oh, well,
and I'm
lucky
still,
you.
yeah, my body's still very hot. So,
I've been
yeah,
out riding a mower, been mowing my host grass for him.
nice.
I got a question. Do you guys create a new meeting every time you do this?
Yeah,
Why? Why don't you just create one and just leave it and then we can all just have one thing to check in?
because then this is the thing that I was thinking too. But uh will be easier, much more easier to me because I had to create one different event to every time, to every meeting that you have. But then I cannot change. So if you have a special meeting, it's gonna be like book club forever. So it will stay the same on the app. Hey Banu, Hare Krishna.
Oh, who made it? Well, the reason I'm asking, so I have an account and I have multiple meetings, and I have my search and rescue meeting and all these different meetings, and then I have my personal. So when I'm doing those special ones, and I'll create one on the fly, but for the others, because there's so many people, and like if I knew I could just drop down and off we go. If you had it as one, this particular set, just name it your book club. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
however you want to do it, I'm good with. It's your show. I'm just trying to make it easier on you. You'd have to do less work. You wouldn't have to create one every time, and nobody would have to try and find the link. But if you want to keep it down to the link, there's also that. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, I was super thinking about this Mangalarti because this week I had some troubles and that's why I didn't put the other events at the app. And thanks for remind me. I need to check it out this.
I mean, like I said, it's up to you. I just trying to make things easier for you. So if it is, and to each their own how they
Yeah.
do it.
Thank you so much. Hey Shristi, Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Yeah.
That's great. Maybe we will have a special guest tonight. I'm not sure if he will be able to make it, but let's see. Um, Let me open the Kindle here because we finished to read the verses and now we will continue to study about the gunas and we explore the part 4 of the book. Does someone would like to share something about last meeting or something else?
Pearls of wisdom here today.
What?
I said no pearls of wisdom this time. Glad to still be on the planet. That's still going well.
Mangalarti. We stay so scared when you join the meeting that day. I at least. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened with Mangalarti? And at the same time, was so inspiring, so inspiring. I even spoke with someone that was on the call because this is in situations like this, I always think, what is my excuse? Because we all have lives so busy and do many, many things. And we always try to push Krishna away, right? And when we see someone that are in the post-recovery of a surgery, of an emergency surgery, entering in the Zoom call, it's very inspiring. So thank you so much.
I enjoy y'all's association.
We are glad that you're here with us.
Yeah.
So here it is. Um, Part 4, action, reaction, bondage, karma. Is someone who would like to read?
I will if you want. I'll start this thing.
Oh, wait a minute. Looks like I did something wrong here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just a minute. Yeah, so didn't. We have a special guest.
Maybe.
Let's see if it all work it out. Acharyadeva said that he tried to enter the Zoom call, but he couldn't. And I didn't receive the link, to allow him entering. So I asked him to try to enter again. Unable to join. But why? This is so weird. Give me just a second, please.
So have you just texted him the meeting ID and the passcode?
Yeah, I sent the same link. Copy invite link. Oh. Sorry, folks. Hare Krishna.
Oh, there's good old Mangalarti,
Zero.
everybody. And what does that say, Srishti
That's
Singh?
Srishti. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna and Krishna Kala.
Hare Krishna. Much.
Hare Krishna. So, Amrita, does anyone have any questions or anything I can help with? Mangalarti rendered very nice service when I was up in the Northwest.
It was a pleasure. And I heard they told you, but yeah, Krishna has kept me on the planet. I still have things to do, so we dodged one.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, everything's very good.
So, Premamrita, any topic?
Yes, we are currently we are about to enter the part 4 of the comprehensive guide of Bhagavad Gita. I've just
Oh,
shared with them, but we didn't start to reading. And on our last meeting, we've read the verses of the chapter 3 or 4.
Hmm.
Uh, would you like to comment something specific about this? Any highlight that you think that is more important on this part of the book?
Sure. I guess you can put us back on the regular stream. Yeah, it's if you think about it, if there is a God knows what he's doing, then there would have to be a law of karma. The in the if you look at the Christian tradition, Augustine had this really bad idea. He insisted on that you only get one life, but if if life is eternal, if the soul is eternal, then one human lifetime is just almost it's just an infinitesimal little thing. And so just like if you're raising a child, you have to be patient. You have to sometimes it takes a while to learn. So if someone is in this world and of course Augustine would say that, this is our first life, but so he said there's no past life, which makes it absolutely impossible to explain rationally why people are born in such different circumstances. Some baby is born in a wonderful family, another baby is born underneath a bomb in the middle of a war. And so it's absolutely impossible to explain these things if you have the foolish idea that you only have one life. It's funny because in his I don't know what you'd call it, not only him, others in their passionate idea to exert maximum pressure that you have no past life, so it's absolutely impossible to explain why people are in such different situations, and you have no uh, future chance in this world, which makes it impossible to explain how God is merciful. And so, from the philosophical point of view, those concocted ideas, which do not come from even from Jesus, those concocted ideas were just a disaster and made not Jesus, but church theology irreparably irrational. It was simply became impossible to give a rational explanation of what's going on. Who we are, how we came to this world, what's our future, why is God doing things in a certain way? It just made that church philosophy hopelessly irrational. And of course, I don't just want to attack them, but philosophy is important. Philosophy is not just an intellectual exercise or trying to show that you're smarter than someone else or you can win an argument. It's taking philosophy as important is based on an assumption, a very important assumption that God is not crazy, that God is rational, that the truth is not simply this hopeless mystery for us, but actually, like every good parent, Krishna wants to educate his children. If you're born in a good family, then your parents want you to get a good education. And Krishna is a nice guy. So he's put us in this world because we wanted to come here, but like a responsible parent, he explains this is why you're in the material world. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to give you a very generous opportunity, it's very generous offer that you will get all facility and I will be patient. And eventually you have to wake up and rectify yourself and come back to Godhead. So the Bhagavad Gita, I mean, because there is law of karma, I mean, there must be a law of karma if God is rational and not just crazy. So, so we're very fortunate to have this perfect philosophy, and Krishna himself is speaking to us. So, actually, I'm gonna maybe leave you there. Thank you all very much for attending and keeping this thing alive. So, Srishti, where are you? Are you in the Northwest?
I am in Vancouver, Maharaj.
Oh, right there in Vancouver.
Yes.
I I went to Vancouver a few times, but that was a mere, well, over 50 years ago. So, so I don't remember seeing you there.
I haven't been here long, Maharaj. I've been here just a little over 2 years.
Where'd you come from?
Well, in Canada, it's been nearly 6 years now, but I was in India before.
What part of India?
My mother incidentally stays in Vrindavan, Maharaj.
Oh my. What a what a fortunate mother.
I'm just counting my blessings. She's found a board there, so I'm just happy to visit as much as I can.
Very good. Very good. A Vrindavan mother. So thank you all very much. And nice to see all of you. And I hope you continue these very valuable studies. And thank you, Premamrita, for facilitating this.
Thank you for inspiring us in service to Krishna Chairdev.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
There you
Krishna
go.
Maharaj.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
So nice. Yeah. We are all speechless now.
Yeah.
As this special guest was so waited for all of us, right? I had no idea that Chairdev will be able to make it the Zoom call tonight. He spoke like 1 hour ago, like maybe I will join. I said, okay. So that's it. Um, Let me share the screen with you all here. Start share. Here it is. Someone would like to read. I think Mangalarity said, right? No?
I can read.
Yeah,
I can
okay.
read. Yeah. Um, unless Mangalaki, would you like to read?
I can read. I just had to switch over to my headphones. It's much easier to hear now. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
perfectly.
Okay, so there's an air conditioner here. Now I can hear everything very nicely. All right, I'll read. Karma refers to the cosmic system that reacts to our free acts, delivering to us fair, commiserate consequences. In this way, the universe holds up a mirror to each soul. Hmm. The Gita teaches that the universe consists of upper, middle, and lower worlds, with Earth being a middle planet that Krishna calls the human world. Life in all material worlds is temporary and unsatisfying for the eternal soul. Still, there are higher and lower levels of material life. By karma's laws, good acts raise us to higher states. Passion keeps us where we are, and dark acts drive us down to the lower states. We experience these states or reactions in a series of lives. God never gives up on us. We have unlimited chances to discover the truth that we are spiritual beings and our real home is Krishna's eternal abode, not any place in this transient universe. Not any place in this transient universe. We keep trying to enjoy and understand birth after birth till we achieve final liberation and return to our eternal home. More about this final destination later. Great, what's
I,
that?
I love that he put it like this. Because it's like
And
a
there's
destination,
more.
right?
Hmm.
Would you like to comment something?
Yeah, I never thought about the higher, the middle, and the lower planets related to the modes of nature. I always just thought it, for some reason, it's just on your good deeds, bad deeds, kind of like the Christian version of heaven and hell. You go pay off a debt, but never thought about it completely related to Mother Nature. So that's interesting.
For sure. I always think that it's weird how can be so badly in other planets and how can be so much better also, right? Because we know only this reality, or we remember only what we are experiencing. So we don't have an idea. We don't rationally know how it is in upper, middle, and lower worlds.
No, but we have the scripture to explain it to us. I mean, if you want to hear about the lower planets, read the fifth canto. But what I've always found about Krishna consciousness that's interesting, compared to being raised in basic Judeo-Christian thing, is that even though the fifth canto's there and it's like scary to read, nobody ever focuses on it. It's like we're all about, serving, loving God. It's this very loving thing. It's not, oh my God, if you do this, you're, you're going to suffer in these, horrendous ways that are detailed very graphically for us. So I've always found that quite interesting as being a devotee.
Does someone would like to comment more about these parts?
Yeah, I like
Can you guys hear me?
oh,
Yes,
okay.
Banu.
I've been thinking a lot about the invocation in Sri Upanishad and how the personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because of that, everything that emanates from him is also perfect and complete. And it's phenomenal to look at the system working. Like in the beginning of that paragraph, it said the universe holds a mirror up to each individual soul, and the universe just responds perfectly. So the system, it allows free will, but it also I don't know, it's just really mind blowing to think about how it just functions.
Totally. For good and for bad, right? Because we want the good results of our actions, but we want to neglect the bad that we made in general. In general, we don't want to be responsible for what we are doing if it's not something that gives us pleasure. Kala had opened the mic to say something, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I like that line. I also Mangalarti, I never thought of the higher, middle, and lower planets as modes of nature as well. It's very interesting, but I like that line that we know this. We get unlimited chances in this life. Um, we have unlimited chances to discover the truth, and it just makes you wonder, like, how many chances have I had already? Right? Like, oh my God. Thank God I like maybe it's a good thing I don't know how many chances have I had already. Um Prema knows this about me. I have a my guilty pleasure for television is Survivor. And that's the only television I watch. And the other night it was on, and two contestants were talking about it's Survivor 50. So they've been on multiple times. They bring back other contestants, and they're talking about how, man, how many times have we done this and we haven't won? How many times have you done this and we get voted out right away? And I was just thinking, like, that is this life. That is the material world. Like, how many chances have I had and just get voted right back to whatever this material life, human life, what a rat, whatever it is, and it just really made me think, like, man, how many chances? Like, how many more do I really want? I don't want it anymore. Am I behaving in a way that is gonna stop that cycle? Like, yeah, yeah. Survivor. It's very philosophy.
Your answer isn't the question.
Yeah, yeah. True.
But at the same time, yes and no, right? Because in Krishna consciousness, it's no such a thing like, oh, you need to survive. No, it has such a beautiful and joyful process. You can chant, you can meditate in your rounds, you can have prasadam, and you can associate with other seekers that are in the same spiritual journey.
Read
So I don't
scripture.
see it as a penitence, you know?
Yeah, if done right, we actually thrive.
Right.
I mean, but there's always anxiety and suffering. But the difference is that once you understand this philosophy, it's just part of the game, and whatever it is, you brought it on. Krishna's got a plan, and it makes it much easier to mentally deal with these hardships, um, and just accept your fate, whatever that might be. And it's going to sound weird, but even there, you can thrive if done right.
Yeah, totally. But for this, you need to have the desire.
Mm.
And more than this, you have your free will. Krishna, it's not saying you need to do this, you need to do that. And that's why this part of the book is so special because we can see that there is many possibilities. Krishna gave paths so we can go to him. Whether it's karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, he says which one is the best. But even though he gave options, because we have free will.
Yeah, that's the really cool thing about bhakti. Just, I mean, because everything's so perfect, you're always in the exact perfect moment to surrender to Krishna. Um, like there's never a lack of opportunity. If you're having a good time or a bad time, um, just by recognizing Krishna in that moment, it's a perfect time now. It's eternal.
Exactly. Exactly. Uh, Once I've heard that there is no delays in the universe because everything arrives in the perfect exact moment. And when I read the first part here, I thought about this because it is a cosmic system, right? We just are not used to think like this, but it is.
Yeah, and any devotional service, anything we do for Krishna is never lost, right? It accumulates, is kept with us, and our next life, we just start from that point, and yeah, so there's hope. There's hope.
Yeah, there's hope. Does someone would like to continue reading?
Yeah, I can read. We're at yeah. Yet endless opportunities in this world should not lull us into loitering here. See? Since each new body entails the flaw of birth, old age, disease, and death, indeed, Krishna calls the karmic chain of rebirth karma bondage, the death wandering path, the death wandering ocean, and birth bondage, wherein one who is born must die, and one who dies must again take birth. Thus, selfish acts in which we cling to action's fruits, bind us to this world. Under karmic laws, the soul in different bodies cycles through a universe that itself moves in endless cycles. On Earth, we observe cycles of days, nights, and seasons based on cyclical motions of Earth, Sun, Moon, and other celestial bodies. The Gita teaches that the entire universe and the countless souls that populate it move through grand cycles of cosmic creation and dissolution, corresponding to days and nights of Brahma, whom God, Krishna, deputes to create the cosmos.
Would you like to comment something that capture your attention?
Yeah. Days and nights and seasons. Everything is cyclical, right? And we see it. We see it in this uh, micro micro things here on the planet. Like the seasons, and then it's this huge macro thing And every ancient culture followed a cyclical, the indigenous people here in Canada and North America, they had this huge cyclical, everything's cyclical for them. And it just makes sense. But so many people fight that, they fight that understanding, that knowledge. And like modern science has made it like it's this one straight line. And, Charlie Day was saying, first birth, and as soon as you're dead, you go to hell or you heaven, right? It's not like that. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yes, and we have our own seasons as well.
True.
Because we
Yeah.
have the seasons, we can see it clearly in Vancouver. So now it's everything so beautiful with many flowers. A little bit less in the last weeks, right? But even though it's stunning, and maybe internally you're feeling different. Maybe you are internally in winter, struggling with so much challenge. Or maybe you're already in the summer, feeling so much joy. So we have our moods. Nature has their moods also. And not necessarily because we are in the spring, you were internally feeling this joy and being able to contemplate the beauty. Maybe you were finishing a cycle, maybe you were in a different mood, right? Hey, Dina, welcome.
Even our bodies, our material bodies have seasons, right? Like childhood, adolescence, middle age, old age. Those are seasons, right? And yeah.
Yeah, and well, today, Mother's Day, it's a day to honor and all those who are able to be mothers in certain way, in any way, right? Because this is very special as well. And when we think about nature, we think about this too. It's really, really beautiful. Does someone would like to add something else? So let's back here. Does someone would like to read? Stop it here. Whoops.
Yeah, I can read.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So it's from, okay. After a hard day of work and study, one must replenish body and mind with restful sleep. Likewise, after aeons of struggling and learning in the karma system, souls are given deep rest within Krishna's own nature, only to be sent forth again into this temporary world of suffering till they learn to value spiritual freedom. This description may strike the reader as rather gloomy. However, the Gita offers a rich menu of paths that liberate us from the karma cycle of birth and death and deliver us to our true eternal life.
Would like to comment something that capture your attention on this part?
I love the part where it says souls are given deep rest within Krishna's own nature. What a poetic and yet just so rooted in truth, given deep rest within Krishna's own nature.
Mm-hmm.
I love how it's phrased.
Yeah, I
Has
like it too.
has
And
anyone heard? Sorry, I'm sorry, Prema. Go ahead.
I will say that I really like this part, and also this temporary word of suffering till they learn to value spiritual freedom. Because one that is suffering cannot see that there is other way, that there is freedom, right? Because when you are suffering, you don't have peace of mind to think about it, to think about freedom and I like this comparison. Just as what do you say, Colin?
I wonder, like, has anyone heard, or is it in anywhere in Shastra where it's explained what it is like when when the material universe is disillusioned and Krishna and back into Krishna like this, and we take it like deep rest within him, you know, that's a long time, right? That's we can't even fathom how long that is. It's one breath of Brahma, right? All we know is like our consciousness. We're all conscious right now. We see things, we hear things, we're conscious of our own body. I wonder, like, what is that like? You know, is that like how Buddhism is, where it's just like a state of nothingness? What is this? You know?
Well, one of the interesting thing is you mentioned that it's a very long time. But when we say that, we're actually saying it relative to where we're at now. But we're in that state. We don't know. It's just like we're going to get a little geeky science here. So if we could travel at the speed of light,
Hmm.
right? So a photon, the minute it's birthed on the sun and hits our eyes, from the photon, it's an instant. Its birth and death are almost simultaneous because time pretty much stopped. But for us, it's something. So even we like, what's a day of Brahma? He's in a different time. It's just a day to him, just like it is to us. So the question is, and when we go back into Krishna, is time even relevant at that point? Relevant at that point? Because
Right?
time is a material concept. Well, I
Hmm.
shouldn't say that because that's always got me interesting without going too far down a side rabbit hole. Because there is day and night in the spiritual world. So where's time in there?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And that gets you something to spin your head for a little bit. I like science. These are the questions that keep me up at night.
But isn't it in the Gita itself where Krishna explicitly says, I am time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he exactly says these words when
Yes.
I remember
Yeah.
which chapter. So he's probably telling us, don't worry about time. I am time. Don't
Actually,
worry how long it's been.
the whole thing he says is, "Time, I am destroyer of all things,"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because that was quoted by Oppenheimer when they let off the nuclear bomb.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
My spiritual master gave me the name Bala. Time.
mm,
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It made me think it's time to act. It's time, but before I have no time left.
mm. Problem is, you don't know when that
Always,
is.
always have time, but yeah,
No, you don't know when that is.
no,
That's the thing. You
no.
don't. I keep getting this
This,
wake up
this
call
life,
for this.
this life. Yeah.
I know. But for me, I just because of all the incidents in the last year of my life, this whole thing about how temporary our stay here is really,
Yeah.
really coming home to me in so many ways. So for so long I thought, oh, you got time, you got time, you got time. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have these possibilities, these awakenings, right? This wake up call.
Yeah, they keep knocking.
We've all got hopefully 9 lives like cats, you know.
I don't think that's a
I've already
derogatory.
knowingly wasted 2 of them, so hopefully, or had 2 of them used up, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah. And every time it's the same thing. It's like it's actually it helps you. Like they're beneficial, you
Hmm.
know. As hard as they are, they're beneficial. It really
Hmm.
is. It helps
Very
you
much so.
refocus. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Last
they're
last.
beneficial if you answer the call.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
if you have this alarm, if you have this call, this awakening, doesn't matter how you want to name it, and you don't do anything, or if you, for some reason, you couldn't learn the lesson, you'd
Mm.
be even more blessed if you have this call again.
Mm.
Only because we have this knowledge, are our eyes open enough to see it.
Right.
You know, I have a brother and a sister who both had heart attacks, and they don't have the eyes to see how temporary it is, so they're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're blessed.
Yeah, this can apply to many things, right?
Mm.
Um, this description may strike the reader as rather gloomy. However, the Gita offers a rich menu of paths that liberate us from the karma cycle of birth and death and deliver us to our true eternal life. I do like this. A rich menu of
Menu.
paths. We're not used to think like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you're driving, you don't think like a menu of paths. You think about, okay, I can go this way, the other way. But that makes so much. It's very poetic. And in the same way, you have the menu of paths and the variety of the results. That is the karma, right? Because it's a cosmic system. Does someone would like to continue reading?
I can read. In fact, our bondage is essentially psychological. We impose upon ourselves a false, limited identity, the mortal body, and then lament self-imposed limits. But just as we imprison ourselves in illusion, we can also free ourselves. No one else can free us if we do not free ourselves. So why don't we make that choice? Imagine a passenger in an airport transit lounge waiting to fly home. Distracted by items for sale, a new acquaintance, or some annoyance, the passenger misses the flight. Similarly, oblivious to our eternal nature and ultimate happiness, we chase fleeting pleasures and flee from whatever displeases us, thus forgetting our real goal of life, our true destination. Desire and aversion overcome us, and we fall into duality illusion, wherein one side of duality dialectically brings its opposite.
Thank you. Would like to highlight something that captured your attention?
Um, Honestly, the first thing I thought of was an episode of Star Trek I saw the other day. I don't know how relevant that would be to any of you. Um, but it's yeah, it's crazy how one minute, we can feel somewhat Krishna conscious and then, something rocks the boat and now all of a sudden we're just wholly into this fiction we've rebought, after we had already previously given it up. Like, everyone who practices Krishna consciousness at some point they get a little taste, and so we keep coming back, but it's so easy to get distracted. Um, even though it is only temporary, it might be just a little bit of time here and there where your life isn't so spiritually surcharged, but it's kind of it disappears before you even know it's gone, and then you're sitting there like, oh my God, I missed my flight, and then there's this revitalization when the anxiety hits about having to catch the next flight, so it kind of does motivate me personally to take Krishna consciousness more seriously, in those moments where I'm able to see like, oh crap, I forgot.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And please share your personal experience because this enriched so much our discussion. Because we could read the book alone, right? But when we read together, it's, I don't know, I particularly like much more when we can relate to some experience in our life.
Yeah, I mean, his experiences are universal too. Like, just material life is just one setback after another. It's danger at every step. And so it's hard to have two really magnificent days in a row in the material world. You might have some good times, but it's just so temporary.
Yeah, totally. And if you stay attached and didn't pay attention to this, you be kidnapped by your mood all the time, by your problems, by anything, anything. And this can run your day, can affect negatively the relations with those around you. And no one wants this, right? So if we try to pay attention in the modes of nature and how we are interacting with them, it's much more less difficult. Even that we have to realize how silly we are or how how we are easily getting lost in stupid things sometimes. I can say by myself, not for our future. I think that this helps a lot. Let's continue sharing here. Does someone would like to read? Oops, sorry. Thus, if we gloat in victory, we will one day suffer in defeat. If we proudly rejoice at gain, we anguish over loss. Krishna cautions us to neither rejoice at the materially pleasant nor lament the unpleasant, for both come and go, being mere products of sense perception. Trapped in these dualities and their streams of joy and sorrow, we love and hate material objects and forget that our real self exists beyond all material objects. When we identify with the body, we cling to the fruit of the body's actions. We do this because we are locked into dualities of attachment and aversion, and thus seek to enjoy what we like and avoid what we dislike. Since we thus lay claim to ownership of our actions, we are held responsible for the reactions to those actions as well. Simple. So we return to this world life after life to receive, enjoy, and suffer the results of our actions. And that is karma. This made me think about anartha-nivritti, right? The process of purification, because we know sometimes we have totally conscious that we are acting in a good way or in a bad way, but we don't tend to think about the cosmic system that we saw in the beginning about the karma and think, oh, this is affecting my credit karma. This is making me have a terrible karma bank statement.
So the interesting thing here is that, and I just repeat this to myself all the time, that happiness doesn't come from external things. So in the beginning of this verse, it's talking about that we shouldn't, you know, rejoice or lament, right? The idea is to try and stay equal, which is not an easy thing to do because, when things work, it's just like, high five, yeah, because you think you did something. So you're like, we did it, you know? And on the same hand, things go bad. And then I know, trying to stay equal poised or not attached to the body, because, when we're in good health and everything's fine, that's an easy thing to say. But when you have some injury that is just causing you pain, serious pain, and everyone has to go through this, and you're like, really? I'm not that, but boy, that thing's disturbing me, and you're trying to separate yourself from it. And it's not easy. It's like I said, all this, what we talk about, it's funny because this path, the process is easy. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. That's the process, right? Shravanam Kirtan Vishnu. Yeah, application, that gets interesting. But, all we can do is try, right? This is what Krishna says. You have to act, but you don't get the result. So we just have to keep acting, keep trying, keep trying. Krishna says what you can't, what you don't have, I'll help. So if we just keep trying, he'll help. But we all know that there's suffering in this world and there's happiness. And our job is to stay equipoised, know that it's not by our doing. Well, it is our doing. I mean, that's the first thing you have to accept, that this is our doing. That if you can't accept that, you may as well go back and start reading again. That's like 101. Everything it's not by somebody else. This is my own doing. We can think, oh, this person did that. They cut me off. Now I'm mad. No, had nothing to do with them. It's all about you. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, life is interesting when you apply Krishna consciousness to it on a day-to-day basis as we go through day by day and all the things that come up, and you have to keep applying these philosophies. So that's like I said, that's how you thrive. You just keep applying this thing.
Yeah, indeed. And this is very important to be said. It's easy to say that you are not the body when you are healthy. But when you are in a bed of hospital or with so much pain or whatever, then realize this knowledge again. Try to think about this again. It's
Yeah,
totally another situation.
and when you're close to death, you'll find out what fear really is and how attached you are. When you know that, like, well, I could be checking out, then you start really like fear can get real because you're so attached. You think, what am I afraid of? Why? It's like this might be a good thing, to get out. But it's difficult to try and see that in the moment. That I
Yes.
promise.
Yeah,
And
I was just reading the other day, again, the Avanti Brahman in the 11th canto, and there's this verse, let me find it here. He said, "The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Hari, who contains within himself all the demigods, must be satisfied with me. Indeed, he has brought me to this suffering condition and forced me to experience detachment, which is the boat to carry me over this ocean of material life." And in that whole chapter, this person had gone from being super wealthy to basically being abused by every city he went in, and he was able to see that, oh, Krishna must really like me to have brought me down here.
I was just reading that in the temple the other day when we were doing a mic test. I was reading that whole thing.
the tests, right? The tests.
No
And
Mangalarti. Oh, sorry.
no, it's okay. And even though that we have the tests, we are so blessed for being able to have these tests because in those moments we can evaluate how our consciousness is in fact. Because it's really, really, well, one thing is to be spiritual consciousness when everything is going well. Another one is when you face a huge challenge and your faith is tested. And you can see if you really trust Krishna or not. And you can really cry and beg for Krishna, ask him to help you, ask him to do something. I think that these are the moments that can uplift our spiritual life. Not being, don't want to be dramatic here, not at all. But if you try to see through other perspective, this can be really, this can add strength to your life as well.
Yeah, Mangalarti. How you said, how like in Prema, you too, like it's a test, and when you're really going through it, and it's like, for instance, last February, I was in the hospital on oxygen for 14 days. I almost died from a very severe case of bacterial pneumonia. My lungs were shutting down. All my organs were very close to start shutting down. And at some point, it was so hard for me just to chant my rounds because I couldn't even like hardly breathe, and like. But at some point, I was questioning myself, like, man, if this is it, and am I really ready? And there's this huge fear, and you start thinking about all your attachments, and it's like you really realize how attached you are in this duality we live in when you're in a position like that. And it just like, to me anyways, not anyone else, but it proves like there's a lot of work to do. Even though we might be chanting our 16 rounds a day or more, there's a lot of work to do internally, Yeah.
But let's be honest that chant 16 rounds is not the easiest, but it's not the most difficult, because chant 16 rounds, even like a parrot repeated mechanically can chant in theory 16 rounds, right? But do the inner work is the thing. Observe how you stay in interactions with people that you like, people that you tend to not like for some reason. Why this echo? What resonates with you when you are in a certain place, when you're living the same situation again in your life?
Mm.
I don't know if someone would like to add something else. I saw that we are close of our time here, but there is only 2 more paragraphs to finish the part 4.
Okay.
Would you like to finish tonight? Or in the night? Yeah, if you have like 10 minutes, we can conclude.
Good for me.
Good for me.
Yep.
Does someone would like to continue reading?
So we're reading it, busy trying to enjoy this world.
I think so.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start there. Busy trying to enjoy this world, we imagine ourselves the center of reality and try to possess all that we desire in God's creation. Thus, we fall into illusion of I and mine, egotism and possessiveness. Ironically, a negative form of I and mine arises when we hate all that frustrates our selfish wishes. This illusionary psychology of duality, egotism, and possessiveness keeps us helplessly wandering in the material world under the laws of karma. Yet, by a simple technique, we can instantly spiritualize our actions, transforming karma bondage into karma yoga, a path to spiritual liberation. Similarly, we can transform our intellectual life, our pursuit of knowledge, into jnana yoga, excuse me, knowledge yoga. Another path to spiritual freedom. What is this? What is that simple technique that spiritualizes every action of our life, from food to philosophy to work to love? It is jnana. I'm sorry, yajna, the act of offering to God, deceptively simple but powerful in practice. So yeah, this is yajna, sacrifice. Because you're like talking about your rounds here, right? It's just 16 rounds, right? But it's a sacrifice of your time. You have to give up a couple hours every day of your time. And a lot of people, this is even for me, sometimes it's a very difficult thing to do. But it's still, everything we do, if we do it properly, is a sacrifice to offer our food. We don't just dig in. You're like, okay, take the time, do the sacrifice, offer it to God, right? Everything we do. Here, again, we're sacrificing our time for spiritual knowledge. So if you look at it, all of it's sacrifice. If you want to get back into spiritual life, everything we do. And I can't remember the very end of that. It said something like, this is where.
Oh, share, sorry.
It's okay. What does it say at the very bottom? Yeah, it is saying that the act of offering is simply simple but powerful in practice. So yeah, And it's even all power comes from Yagna. I mean, you look at Hiranyakashipu, right? He ended up controlling the whole world, but man, what he had to do to go through. Anybody that goes to boot camp in the military, they go through this sacrifice. That's what gives them their strength. And in the same way as we sacrifice Krishna, we get spiritual strength. And that's why it's important to give up ourselves to Krishna. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Does someone would like to add something to what Mangalar shared?
Yeah. And as long as our sacrifices that we're doing, if we can put them into Krishna consciousness perspective and make them Krishna, spiritualize everything, just like everything we use, we can spiritualize in Krishna service, right? As long as we're have that mindset, it's beneficial. Right? Yeah. But if we have a mindset of, like the Acharya Dave's saying there, it's for me, it's mine. I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this to my for my ego. It's detrimental for our spiritual practice.
Totally.
I'm just so
No, just say total.
sorry. I just had a question for everyone on here. Out of curiosity, after Prabhu just mentioned, would we refer to it as a sacrifice or surrender? What are your thoughts on that? I sometimes have to tell myself it's surrender and not sacrifice, and then still go back to sometime, no, it's a sacrifice. What
Is
are
it
your
not?
thoughts on that?
Is it not both?
Yeah, I think it's interchangeable,
Huh.
right?
Well, you have to sacrifice your time. And to do that, you have to surrender it. You have to give it up. You have to give up your time. So it's right for Krishna. So if you surrender to Krishna, then you'll make the side. But again, like Krishna Kala said, the direction that we make the sacrifice is important because it's like the guy in boot camp. Yeah, he's creating a sacrifice, but it's just for some material strength. There's no value from a spiritual point, right? So first thing you do is surrender to Krishna. Then you perform all the sacrifices of your time to serve Krishna.
Well, I think in a big way
Mm.
too, like it's already all of Krishna's time. It's already all of Krishna's yajnas. Um, everyone is serving Krishna already, either through his external potency or for the devotees, his internal potency. So it's not really a question of do I want to serve Krishna? It's more how do I want to serve Krishna? Do I want to be an agent of the material energy or, do I want to be one of his bhaktas?
I do like this because, yeah, I was thinking about how our consciousness can shape our actions. Because if you don't have a spiritual consciousness, doesn't matter what you will do. You can like give a donation in the mode of passion, ignorance, not necessarily will be in a sattva guna. Oh, thank you, Dina. Haribo.
And we're every day we're sacrificing our time for our jobs, for someone else, or we're sacrificing our time for our loved ones. Yeah, just we're sacrificing sleep sometimes to get up early, or we're sacrificing getting up early to sleep more. It's all we're always in a mode of sacrificing something. And if it's not done for Krishna, it's done in a mode of passion or ignorance. And yeah.
Thank you. That's a brilliant way to look at it. I appreciate that.
I know I read that somewhere. Yeah.
I meant everyone. Everyone. I thoroughly love what I think Bhanu mentioned about it's all Krishna's. So that just cleared things up. I was just thinking about this morning and it came up. Thank you. So
Well, if I'm right, Banu in the 11th canto, the reason he ended up in that is because he was doing all these sacrifices, but he wasn't giving them to Krishna, right? And that's why he got hammered.
He wasn't even giving anything to himself. He was the worst kind of miser because with all his wealth, he wouldn't even enjoy personally.
That's
Um,
why his family hated him. He wouldn't even do it for
yeah,
his family.
no one was benefiting from his wealth, not even him. You know, he wouldn't even enjoy his own wealth. But, but yeah, it's a nice book.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, your contributions, your questions, your answers. I think we'll stop here tonight if there is nothing else to add. And next week we'll have a special meeting. We'll have a movie party online. So prepare your popcorn, your hot chocolate, your bottle of water. We watch a movie together and discuss after. And this brilliant idea and support was made by Dina, that was here on the call with us before. She had to go because of the time. And I would like just to add that if you have a special idea, please bring to the group or message me and we can try to organize something. That's it. Hope you have a wonderful week. Hare Krishna.
Don't know if I'll be here. That's the temple opening day. We're moving. Krishna moves to the new temple that morning. So it's going to be
Okay.
an all-day affair. So
I'm
maybe I'll be
sorry.
here. Maybe I won't.
Let's see. Let's see. This one
But
won't be recorded, okay. But
it's okay.
it's
If
only
I
this
can
one.
make it, I'll make it. I just said if I don't show up, it's because I get this engagement at the temple opening. It's exciting. We're so close. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, I thought that will be this weekend.
No, it's next weekend, next Sunday. Thursday, we move Prabhupada, and Friday or Saturday, they start doing all the ritualistic purification processes. And then Sunday morning at 7 o'clock, we take Radharani, cut off the altar, and take them to their new altar.
Mm,
New outfit. Yeah.
Yay.
special moments.
Yeah. If you want to watch, go to my port TV and look up New Talma, Mississippi. We have two cameras now that pan television, and it'll be live streamed.
Wow.
Well,
It's a beautiful temple.
I'm personally hoping that I could see the new temple opening and also watch a movie.
Oh.
Manu's here on the farm with me. He's literally just down the road.
All right. Please keep us posted, send pictures, videos on the WhatsApp group, links. See you all next week. Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.